The interview is not over when you walk out of that door or when you log off of that Zoom. You still have work to do. While it's fresh in your mind, you want to make sure that you think about the questions that they asked you. And if you can, write them down right then. 20 minutes from now, half an hour from now, you will not remember the 8-10 questions that they asked you in a half an hour interview. Now, after you have all those questions written down, you want to go back thoughtfully and think about what you said. Jot down a few notes around what you said. Lastly, you don't have to do this right then, but maybe a few hours later, you want to come back and think about what you were thinking when you answered that question. Was it a surprise question? Was it one of the questions that you had prepared for, but they asked it a little bit differently? Did you forget what your answer was to a question that you had already rehearsed? What was going on with each question that they asked you? And give yourself a grade, frankly. There's always room for improvement. Now, what you must not do is beat yourself up if you think you answered the wrong way or you forgot to say something. You did the best you could in that moment. But the reason we're doing the after work is so that you have an opportunity to tune it up a little bit, to improve the next time around. Because if you make it to the next round at that company, you will have people that will ask you the same questions again, because they might want to see whether or not you're going to give them now a different answer. So you want to be thoughtful and you want to be sure about how you answered that question before. And even if you want to change it, you can say something like, when I received this question before, I said A and B. But it occurs to me that I should also have added D, E, and F. Right? You don't want to necessarily say that you got the question with the last interviewer. You can just say, when I got that question before, I've always thought about this, but here's something else I want to add there, so that those two answers now come together and you are acknowledging something else that you said without saying you said it to their colleague. The next thing that you might want to do is to talk to a trusted friend or advisor. And if there are a couple of questions that you think you could have done better on, based on the interviewer's response, you might try that on that person and said, hey, I got a question like this today, and I answered in this way. What do you think? Was that a great answer? Was there something else I should have said? Now, that person may say, oh, that was an excellent answer. Or they may say, well, that was okay, but you might think about this the next time. Well, there's your opportunity to improve. And you can write that down so that you're ready the next time you get that kind of question. The reason why it's important to try it on somebody else if you are unsure is that the interviewer could have been giving you a few faces to throw you off your game, but your answer was really great. So you can't always judge the answer based on the interviewer's reaction. Sometimes it's a real reaction. Sometimes it's a reaction just to see how you're going to react. So checking with someone after the fact will help you to calibrate that a little bit. And then lastly, don't forget to write a quick email shortly after you interview. It doesn't have to be immediately after you interview, but my practice is to do that within 24 hours of interviewing. Hey, James, it was great to interview with you today. I'm even more excited about an opportunity with the company for these 3 reasons. I hope that I have an opportunity to see you again. That's the quick email that you want to send off, acknowledging that they took some time with you, that you're excited about it. Reiterate your sales narrative. I think I'd be great in this role for these 3 reasons, and then sign off. Go get them.